There was no finer actor than Gene. Intense and instinctive. Never a false note. That was Clint Eastwood, reflecting on his friend's artistry and their decades-long bond. Francis Ford Coppola called Hackman's passing the loss of a great artist, cause for both mourning and celebration. And Viola Davis added, "Loved you in everything. You were one of the greats. Rest well, sir." On February 26, 2025, news broke that Gene Hackman had died in his Santa Fe home. The two-time Oscar winner was found alongside his wife, Betsy Arakawa, and one of their dogs. Early speculation was wild. Social media lit up with talk of carbon monoxide leaks, gas explosions, even foul play. Within days, investigators ruled all of that out. Still, questions remained. How could a seemingly healthy man in his mid-90s and his 65-year-old wife both die in their secluded compound? This is the untold truth about Gene Hackman's death. The facts, the rumors, the legacy, and the quiet life he lived after Hollywood. Hackman's career spanned more than 4 decades. His breakout role came in Bonnie and Clyde back in 1967, followed by unforgettable performances in The French Connection, The Conversation, Hoosiers, Unforgiven, and The Royal Tenenbaums. He won 2 Oscars, Best Actor for The French Connection in 1972 and Best Supporting Actor for Unforgiven in 1993. He was nominated 5 times overall. Critics praised him for making his characters feel like real people, not movie stars putting on a show. Born in 1930 in San Bernardino, California, Hackman joined the Marines as a teenager. Later, he studied acting in New York with Dustin Hoffman and Robert Duvall. By the 1970s, Hollywood embraced his raw, natural style, cementing his reputation as one of the greatest actors of his era. By the early 2000s, Hackman began stepping away from acting. After Welcome to Mooseport in 2004, he told Reuters he was effectively retired. He was 74 and ready to move on. Instead of chasing cameos or awards, Hackman turned to writing. He co-authored 3 historical novels with marine archaeologist Daniel Lenihan: Wake of the Perdido Star in 1999, Justice for None in 2004, and Escape from Andersonville in 2008. Later, he wrote 2 solo novels, Payback at Morning Peak in 2011 and Pursuit in 2013. In a 2014 interview, Hackman said, "Writing kept his mind active when acting became too physically demanding." He never saw himself as a great novelist, but he loved the process, and he painted. Locals in Santa Fe later revealed that more than 24 of his works, oil paintings and digital prints, hung in Jinja Bar and Bistro, a restaurant he co-owned. His largest piece, a tropical beach scene, was inspired by Paul Gauguin. Beyond his own work, Hackman and Arakawa supported the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. Hackman served on its board of trustees and even narrated a documentary about her life. On February 26, 2025, 2 maintenance workers spotted bodies through a window at the Hackman's Santa Fe home. Deputies found Betsy Arakawa on a bathroom floor, Hackman nearby in a mudroom. A cane and sunglasses lay next to him. One of their 3 dogs was dead in a crate, while 2 others survived. Because the bodies were already decomposing, authorities suspected they had died days earlier. There were no signs of trauma, but the scene was suspicious enough for a full investigation. Family members first feared carbon monoxide poisoning. Social media ran with the theory. But within 2 days, Sheriff Adin Mendoza confirmed there was no CO poisoning. The gas company also found no major leaks. Hackman's pacemaker showed his heart had stopped around February 17th. On March 7th, the medical examiner reported that Hackman died of hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, with Alzheimer's disease as a major contributing factor. He had had heart stents, bypass surgery, and a pacemaker. Evidence of long-standing heart problems. Arakawa's cause of death was something far rarer: hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, a rodent-borne illness endemic to the Southwest. She likely died around February 11th. A necropsy later showed their dog, Zinna, died of dehydration and starvation. Investigators used this to reconstruct the timeline. Betsy died first, Hackman about a week later, and the dog shortly after. By April 27th, a final autopsy revealed even more. Hackman had severe cardiovascular disease, past heart attacks, and advanced Alzheimer's. His stomach was empty, and trace acetone suggested fasting or diabetic complications. Investigators believe Hackman may not have realized his wife was gone, and in his confusion, stopped eating and drinking. On March 12th, Hackman's estate petitioned the court to seal autopsy photos and investigative footage, citing privacy rights and the disturbing nature of the material. Some transparency advocates objected, but most records remain sealed today. Hollywood poured out tributes. Clint Eastwood praised Hackman's honesty on screen. Coppola called his life both complex and celebratory. Viola Davis thanked him for inspiring generations. Bill Murray recalled Hackman's perfectionism on the Royal Tenenbaums. Cary Elwes called him a force of nature. Tom Hanks, Josh Brolin, Antonio Banderas, and many more added their voices. Even PETA issued a statement, reminding fans that Hackman once helped rescue stray dogs on set. Hackman himself had once said he hoped to be remembered simply as a decent actor. Humble words, considering the reverence his peers expressed. Obituaries painted him as the face of 1970s American cinema, gritty, psychological, and unglamorous. Fans flooded social media with favorite scenes. Popeye Doyle's chase in The French Connection, Harry Call's paranoia in The Conversation, Coach Dale's halftime speech in Hoosiers, and Royal Tenenbaums' redemption. The tragedy also sparked wider conversations. How could a wealthy couple die unnoticed for nearly 2 weeks? Advocates pointed to the risks of isolation for seniors, especially those battling dementia. Journalists highlighted the dangers of hantavirus and the need for rodent control. Hackman's net worth was estimated around $80 million, much of it tied to real estate, including a 12-acre compound in Santa Fe worth between $3.8 and $4.5 million. The couple also owned a villa in Montecito, California. Court filings show their estate was structured through trusts. Arakawa's will included a charitable clause if both spouses died within 90 days, which applied here. Hackman and Arakawa's philanthropy stretched far. Beyond the O'Keefe Museum, they donated anonymously to local causes, supported the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and advocated for animal welfare. The truth of Gene Hackman's death isn't found in conspiracy theories. It's in the quiet realities of aging, illness, and isolation. He lived with advanced dementia and serious heart disease. Betsy's sudden hantavirus infection left him disoriented and alone. Their dog's fate only underscored the cruel nature of the timeline. But Hackman's life was far more than this tragic ending. He left behind Oscar-winning performances, a handful of novels, a collection of paintings cherished in his community, and a legacy of philanthropy. For a man who wanted to be remembered simply as a decent actor, Gene Hackman's life and death left a mark far greater than he ever admitted.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.